So this is the tartare procedure for gazette. Guests in our restaurants will expect to have the same tartare, whether it's made by you or somebody else, whether it's made in Battersea or Putney or somewhere else. So this is exactly the mise en place of your side table. This is how it should be, and this is how it should be when the tartare arrives. You don't want to start moving things around, you have to be ready for it. So the bowl, cutlery of the same size, and then we'll have the ingredients ready as such: pepper, salt, Tabasco, Worcestershire sauce, the Lee appearance, and vegetable oil. We are not using olive oil, we are using vegetable oil. Okay? Now, then the tartare arrives from the kitchen, just like that. You will have gherkins, capers, onions, and parsley for the garnish. The egg on top of the meat. The meat is beef skirt. We use beef skirt because it has a very low fat content and it gives a nice bite. The meat is cut with a knife, strictly not with a machine, which makes all the difference. Okay? The sauce is made of mustard and ketchup. Mustard for the kick and the ketchup for the sweetness. The sauce may come in a pot like this one if it is a starter portion. Whatever the kitchen gives you will have to go into the pot. There are 3 steps to the tartare. The first step is the vinaigrette. The second step is the garnish and the meat. And the third step is the molding of the tartare. Now, for the first step, we are going to add all these ingredients, plus the egg. So it doesn't really matter in which order you do it. What does matter is that you finish with the oil, because the oil is what is going to blend everything together. Okay? So we'll start with the pepper. You will be needing the pepper again at the end of the tartare making. Okay? Salt. Now, the Tabasco in a reasonable amount. This is a reasonable amount. The Worcestershire sauce. And then we'll do the egg. It's best to do the egg, and not to break it if you can, before you do the sauce, otherwise you'll put sauce everywhere. Now, how spicy people want it. You may ask them how they want it spiced, whether it's strong or light, etc. It is not compulsory, because you may end up having a lot of questions to ask if you have multiple tartare orders on one table. So again, you may ask if they want it spicy or not, but it is not compulsory. So this is our first step. Now what we need is what is going to blend everything together, which is the vegetable oil. This is how you will hold your fork and spoon, sorry, circle and oil at the same time. Now what you're looking for is exactly like when you do a vinaigrette or a mayonnaise at home, okay? So you want it to be not too thick, a little bit like this. This is exactly how it should be. This is our first step finished. Second step, I'm going to take the slate, just tap your fork on the side so that it's nice and neat. Use the fork because it has a flat side and it's easier to slide the ingredients into the bowl. Gherkins, capers, onions, parsley. Try and leave nothing there. I'm not going to put the board down, I don't need to, because I'm just going to do this quickly and then go ahead with the meat. It's a detail, but it's important to be as quick as you can. Now, there are different ways of doing it from here. You can either mix like this at the table, you can hold it. I recommend doing this. Of course, what matters is the end product. What you want is the sauce to be everywhere, for the garnish to be everywhere. Now clean up your dish from the sauce with the meat as you go along. And then when you're ready, just put everything one side of the bowl, which will make the next step easier. And then go ahead and put it in the middle of the slate, just like that. I don't need this anymore. This is ready for collection. Then I'm going to circle. Then with the back of the spoon, flatten it down a little bit like this. And then with the fork, I'm just going to make sure it's nice and round along the sides. When this is done, you can square it like this, one side and then another. The fork is no longer needed. The last step to this is you bring it to the guest and add a little bit of pepper on top. And that's it, bon appétit. So I recommend also that maybe